Guys, I got a good one for you today. I'm going to talk about the law of averages and why this is the most important thing you should be tracking. A lot of you do not track what you do on a day-to-day as far as your reps when it comes to sales. If you were in sales and you do not track how many interactions you have, how many conversations you have, and how many of those conversations you can convert, you're operating in chaos at all times. It's messy. You don't know what you have to do to get what you typically get. When you're tracking your numbers, when you know exactly, when you've done it for an extended period of time, right? Let's say that you're someone that does cold calls. Let's say that you pick up the phone, you call people, and you're trying to get people to resubscribe to something, right? And if you don't track your stuff, you're going into every day saying, I wonder how many calls I have to make before I get someone. That's a stressful thing subconsciously. All of a sudden, subconsciously, it's unknown. Subconsciously, you're stressed out about the unknown. And unknown is always going to be stressful to you guys, right? Whether it's, I don't know if I'm going to pay the bills next month, or it's, I don't know if I'm going to hit my quota for the end of the year. It doesn't matter what the unknown is. Unknown is not something that anybody likes. Now, you guys watching this, you do have to get okay with things being unknown, right? You can't let that bother you. No one knows everything. No one knows the future. All you can do is best set yourself up for it. But there's a lot of things that you don't have to stress yourself out about or let become more stressful. The things that you can do, you should do, which is tracking your stuff, right? So back to the cold caller. Now, let's get a cold caller that does track their numbers every day, right? Let's say you're someone that is trying to get someone to resubscribe to a program that they already had, and you're calling your list of people that at one point were signed up. And for 7 days, you track how many calls you make, how many people pick up the phone, how many people stay on the phone, and how many people you get to resubscribe at the end of one of those conversations, right? So we're tracking how many calls you make, which is just reps. That's what you refer to it as, every rep you make. How many people pick up the phone and don't answer the phone, right? So that's 3 metrics. How many people pick up the phone and stay on the phone? That's number 4. And then how many people you close? How many people say yes and re-sign back up, right? So if I track those 5 things 7 days in a row, and you come to the conclusion that, hey, I need to call, every single time I call 40 people, every single time I do 40 reps of making a phone call, I typically get 2 people to say yes. I typically get 2 subscriptions or resubscribers. Now all of a sudden, you know what you have to do in a day to find some sort of success. Does that make sense? So when you go into next week, all of a sudden you're not walking into an unknown level of work. All of a sudden, you need to know exactly what needs to be done to be able to check a box off at the end of your day. The cool part comes in when you realize how much time it takes to do those reps. If it takes you 2-3 hours to make 40 calls and you can get 2 people to subscribe, and your goal at the end of a week is that you need 20 people, right? Let's say it takes 2 hours to make 40 calls and you need 20 people to be able to sign back up, right? How many hours now do you need to put in order to get that result, that desired result that you have back? Do the math. Think about it. This is where things start to get fun, because if you're going to give yourself a big goal, how are you going to give yourself a big goal if you don't know what it is that you have to do to get that desired result? How do you know? This is what business owners, successful business owners, successful entrepreneurs, and successful salespeople do. They track their shit. They track their shit. If you don't track your stuff, you are inevitably setting yourself up for a lot of failure. You're setting yourself up to be discouraged. You're setting yourself up for extra stress that you do not need. Life ain't about winging it, guys, right? You might be able to wing it for a little bit and get away with it, but no one's going to get away with that forever. Nobody. Not the best guy, not you. For me, I knock on doors for a living, right? I'm a door-to-door salesman, okay? That's what I do. Commission only, door-to-door sales. For me, when I start tracking my material, things become a lot more predictable for me. For me, I've found out through guys, I used to track all the time, and I had my most successful year last year. My most successful year. Did millions of dollars in sales. I didn't make millions, but that's the product that I sold, okay? Don't get it twisted. My most successful year, the period of that year when I was the most successful, when I was doing the most volume, I was tracking what I was doing every day, and I knew exactly what was required for input to get out the output that I needed to hit the number that I wanted to hit, and I hit it, period. Now all of a sudden I'm strategic with my days. Now all of a sudden I'm not playing checkers anymore, I'm playing chess. You get the difference? Checkers is one move at a time. It's a simple ass game. Simple games don't gain big rewards. You need to play chess. You need to be 20 moves ahead. You need to be strategic with what you do and how you plan out your day. And if you move from playing checkers to playing chess, and you're strategic with the time you put in and how much quality time you need to put in, which garners you how many reps you need in order to hit the number that you need to hit, now you can plan your whole week accordingly. Now you can plan things in between the work. Now you can plan stuff in between these work hours, and you can become more productive. You can become more effective. All of you want this. I know you do. We all don't want to just live by the job. We want to be able to be highly effective. We want to be highly productive. We want to be strategic with what we do. And if you're not, you're never going to get to where you want to get to. This lady keeps looking at me. I don't know why. She thinks she doesn't know she's on a YouTube video right now. For me, when I hit doors, typically, and I just got back around to it, I'm finding that it takes about 15 doors to knock on before I can get a deal. 15. Now that I'm back to that number where I know, okay, all right, all I need to do is tap on 15 doors and I know I can get one. If I want to get 5 deals in a week, that just means I need 15 times 5 doors, and I'm going to get my result every time because I'm efficient. I'm efficient with that ratio. That ratio for Ken, for me, is what works. What ratio for you works? And then all of a sudden when you know your ratio and you want to get a better ratio, you want to get a better number. Okay, I want to be able to knock on 8 doors before I get one. Now obviously some things are out of your control, but if you know a number that you want to get to, then you can start sharpening your skills. You're like, okay, I need to do this better. All right, I need to work on that better. This is what I'm not doing that I should be doing, and this might be able to garner a better result. And then you apply it and you see if it works. And if it doesn't work, well then, hey, it's time to apply something else, right? Then you can start to trial and error, and you've now become a scientist at your job. You've become a scientist of sales. These people are the ones that always win, guys. In any endeavor that I've ever been in that was sales related, the guys that were at the top, they were always doing this. They always knew what they had to do in order to get what they wanted. So start tracking your numbers, guys, today. Hope this helped. Like, subscribe, comment, hit me up on the socials. You can check the description for that stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Good luck.